Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We're in the Airbus A320 Neo. We're departing from Cleveland, Ohio, going down to Orlando, Florida. Flight time is roughly 2 hours and 15 minutes, so we're going to say closer to 3. Once we taxi and all that, it's going to be pretty close to 3 hours, I think. Looks like it's raining. We're going to leave that on. We're going to climb above the clouds, and we're not going to mess with the time. We're just going to fly a little bit here early in the morning, and by the time we get to Orlando, the sun will be up. So let's get in here, get the A320 set up, and we'll be on our way. Very quick, easy thing to do. We'll start up the initial systems at least, and then we'll push back, start up the engines, taxi out. Ooh, it's snowing. It's not raining, it's snowing. So I'm going to put on that. Because we're flying a larger distance. So let's go ahead. Ooh, I wanted that. And then we'll get our IFR clearance.
Delivery American 2141 IFR to Orlando, ready to copy.
American 2141 is cleared to Orlando Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 24 left climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure frequency is 128.25 squawk 2757.
Acknowledge that.
American 2141 cleared to Orlando Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 24 left climb and maintain 6,000 feet. Departure on 128.25 squawk 2757.
American 2141 readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.7 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Let's get our taxi clearance in which way. Hello, Amin.
American 2141 taxi to and hold short of runway 24 left using taxiway Foxtrot Echo Charlie. Contact tower on 124.5 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 24 left using taxiway Foxtrot Echo Charlie American 2141.
Where's our runway? Push back.
Cleveland ground American 2141 requesting pushback.
American 2141 pushback request accepted.
That going. Oh, good, thank you. Just I will be checking the chat shortly. Let me just get the plane pushed back, and we'll.
Ground American 2141 requesting pushback to steer the aircraft to the right.
American 2141, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Alright, the engines are up and running, looks like. Stop pushback.
American 2141 requesting the end of pushback.
American 2141 request to end pushback received.
go. That. Back to clearance. But sort of follow the ribbons here. Might take us this really crazy way to the runway. What we'll do is we'll come over this way just a bit. Oh, we could go across here. There we go. It's kind of hard to see the lines with the snow on the ground. It does. Yep, it sure does. Well, that wasn't too far to go. Okay, so as soon as we get to the end here, we'll get our temperature reading.
Cleveland Tower, American 2141 ready for departure, runway 24 left IFR to Orlando.
American 2141 altimeter, tree 0.28, wind tree 28 at 20. Cleared for takeoff, runway 24 left.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 24 left, American 2141.
Alright, there we go. Got that. And let's make sure they haven't fastened them already. Leave those off. I just use the standard Xbox controller. That's all I have. I'm leery about getting the yoke and all that stuff, because what I've heard is a lot of people have issues with, they get all that stuff and then after every update all their saved settings are gone. So yeah, I'm not wanting to deal with all that, so they have to remap all their buttons and everything. wind up here and then we'll... That's about as good as it's going to get. Okay. Everything else should be set to go. Alright, let's do this.
American 2141 contact Cleveland departure on 128.25. Good day.
128.25 American 2141. Cleveland departure American 2141 is passing 2,300 feet, climbing 6,000 feet.
American 2141 Cleveland departure altimeter 30.28. Continue to Curry as planned.
Okay, that's what we already have, I believe. Yep. All right. Go. So we are near. So any minute now we'll get our next altitude change. Oh. Alright, so we are on our way to Orlando. That's interesting. By now we should have gotten maybe a little bit closer. We're not quite close enough yet to 6,000 feet.
American 2141
There we go.
climb and maintain flight level 200.
Climb and maintain flight level 200 American 2141.
All right, we are on our way. Now, unlike, yesterday's flight, we're going to keep the markers on. I'm going to try to have the minimal, as much less information while I'm here on the flight deck, because it can be a bit overwhelming looking at everything, but also because my eyesight is not so spot on, it means I'm going to be zooming in and out of everything. So anyway, so we can actually do away with this for right
American
now, since
2141 contact Cleveland Center on 134.9.
now all we're doing is managing our altitudes. The flight director has control of the throttle basically, and the
Cleveland Center American 2141
speeds will
is passing
adjust
9,700
accordingly.
feet, climbing flight level 200.
American 2141 Cleveland Center altimeter 30.1 continue to LBR when as planned. American 2141 contact Cleveland departure on 128.25. Good day.
No, it's not a short trip. It's going to be a couple hours on.
Cleveland departure American
So, no, not a short trip
2141
today.
is at 10,900 feet, climbing flight level 200.
American 2141 Cleveland departure altimeter 30.31.
It's already done, Raman. I know what to do. It's okay. I got it. Thank you.
American 2141
I'm
contact
well aware.
Cleveland Center on 134.9. Good day.
Going to one
I
tree,
know
4
exactly.
decimal niner,
It's already
American
been done.
2141. Cleveland Center, American 2141 is at 11,600 feet climbing flight level 200.
American
But
2141
thank you for the
Cleveland Center,
reminder.
altimeter tree 0 decimal tree 1, continue to LB Arrowhead as planned.
Alex, I do not know what you're saying. I don't speak. I'm not sure what that even is. So, sorry. I cannot respond. I'm guessing you're saying hello. If that is the case, hello to you. Ooh. Can I admin you? No, I don't know you. I am not going to make you a moderator or anything on my channel. I don't know you. I don't know why I would admin you. So tomorrow, I just realized I was on. I don't know if I answered your question, Amin. I did watch Supernatural. I think I answered this, but just in case I didn't, I apologize. I watched a few episodes. No, you. First off, you come into my chat. I don't know you. I have moderators, okay? I don't know you. Why would I just add you as a moderator on my channel when I don't even know you? That doesn't make any sense. So the answer is no. You're more than welcome to hang out and watch. If you want to come in and hang out daily and get to know me, then that's a possibility. But the admin that I have, the moderator that I have, I've known him for over a year and a half now. And I trust him with my channel. I don't know you. I can't trust you if I don't know you. Okay? So, there. Tomorrow's flight, A320. We're going from Tokyo to Seoul, Korea. We may do a second flight, and I will see how things go on what do you call it? You know, with that flight. We'll see how long it's going to be and everything, and then we'll go from there. So,
Good day.
124.45 for American 2141. Indianapolis Center American 2141 is passing flight level 210, climbing flight level 260.
American 2141 Indianapolis Center. Continue to Alpha Papa Echo as planned.
must be some serious winds. 74, wow, okay. Is it gone mark yet? No. Okay. Well, I like both. It's just that this one's easier to fly on the Xbox because it's not. The startup is very easy. The 737 MAX that we have, I don't have an A380. Okay. I'm flying the A320. I am on the Xbox version of Flight Simulator. I do not have an A380. It has not been released yet on the Xbox side. If there's even one on the PC, I don't even think one exists on the PC side yet. But I could be wrong. But we don't have access to all the planes. Hello, Cabano. We don't have access to all the planes that they have on the PC side. Okay, there's a problem with the marketplace, and some third-party developers have made it clear that they are not going to put forth the effort to develop the aircraft for the Xbox. Okay, so I am limited in what I'm able to do. Oh, hello from America. How are you? Seems... Morning, Mick. Can I show the plane texture? I mean, that? There you go. I'm guessing that's what you're asking for as far as texture. I don't know what else you could possibly be asking for. Now this is the Asobo version. I cannot get up out of the chair or walk down the cabin and everything like they can on the PC. I don't know that the passenger area is even modeled correctly. Yeah, it's not a bad looking paint scheme for the plane. It looks good. I like it. You love the USA very much. Well, thank you for that. Emirates got the best texture. Well, that may be true. I don't know. I mean, I work with what I have available to me. We don't have an Emirates Airlines livery yet for the Xbox. At least not that I can recall. No, actually we don't, because if we did, I would have it on when I flew from Mumbai to Dubai, because I was clowned in my chat for flying a KLM liveried aircraft from Mumbai to Dubai. So I work with what I have.
American 2141 climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360 American 2141.
Why isn't it starting to climb? There we go. Let's start climbing. There we go. Okay, I just explained this to you. Bodua, I do not have the A380. I just explained this to you. I do not have the A380. Okay? So that is the I'm not. I just say it. So what is the airplane I have? Well, I only have. I mean, I can't talk. I have the aircraft that came with the deluxe edition plus a few add-ons. Oops. We got them at the same time, Mick, I guess. Sorry. So the list is, there's 20, 30, 45, 50 aircraft, something like that I have. So I would appreciate, and I'm not trying to be mad, or I'm not trying to be mean, if you ask me a question and I answer you, I expect and I hope that you pay attention to my answer, because when you ask me the same question a second time, it leads me to believe that you're not paying attention to my answer. So, if I don't mind answering a question, but if I answer it, please pay attention to what I'm telling you. Okay? I don't think that's an unreasonable request. Yeah, we are heading to Orlando, which is in the northern part of, well, not quite the northern, but almost northern part of Florida. Kinda, I guess. Because the shape of Florida is very strange to consider what is the northern, what is central, what is, well, Miami and the Key West is certainly the southern part of Florida. Key West especially. Yeah. Today we were supposed to get an update to the marketplace. There is no indication that any aircraft will be released today. We're hopeful, but we're not overly optimistic. So as soon as things are released, if I'm able to, I will buy it, download it, and then I will need to familiarize myself with it. And then if I feel comfortable, well, I mean, you can see the sky right there. Even if I'm looking down, you can still see the sky.
2141, contact Indianapolis Center on 127.1.
It's just that in here it's a little bit quieter, and it's probably easier for you to hear me talk. If I'm out here, sometimes the wind sounds a lot louder.
Is at flight level 2905, climbing flight level 360.
American
Well,
2141
it seems
Indianapolis
like
Center, continue to route as planned.
we are struggling to get altitude. I thought by now the issue with... Yeah, we should have been closer to 36,000 feet by now. This climb is taking a lot longer than it should. I have a feeling. Let's take a look at the temperatures. So those are not spiking. Huh. See, interestingly here, the climb... So let's see if we can make it climb. Let's get it to go a little bit quicker. All right. I don't know, Mick. That's what it feels like, but yesterday we flew in the weather, but I don't know if it means like when we climb above flight level 340 that there's still those, or try to climb, you know, to those higher cruising altitudes if the weather is still messed up at those levels. But I just use the vertical climb thing, and we're just going to bypass. We'll get up there, and you know, so now we're climbing at a little bit better rate than we were. So I don't know if it's a weather issue or if it's a system issue, or that they if it's I don't know. I know a lot of people have complained about the climbing capability of the Asobo A320, that's what this is. Well, Air Canada, well, I can tell you what, Mudawa, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I greatly apologize. On, let's see, sometime, yeah, there we go, Wednesday, A320, Calgary to Winnipeg in Air Canada A320 livery. So there you go. Sorry about that your internet sucks, Amin. I know how it goes. Well, thank you for watching, regardless of your internet not being high quality. See, now it went, look at that. The climb kind of died out again. Why did it do that? Do I have to engage it a second time to get the aircraft to continue to climb? It's not even wanting to do that now. Okay, yep. It's starting. Yeah, it's like we kind of hit that ceiling of sorts, and we're losing power. That's my biggest fear. We're not, our power's going down, but those temperatures aren't spiking. I mean, I don't have the icing on. Let me throw on the anti-ice. I don't have that enabled, so it shouldn't be an issue. Maybe that's the trick. Yep, it is a nice plane. It is, yep, they're done in some respects a better job than Boeing, although Boeing does do a lot of good stuff, but 737 MAX aside from that. Let's make sure we're in the, yep, we're in the right notch. Yeah, something just doesn't seem, I don't know. Let's dial up the number. Well, we're close to, we're getting there. I'm just going to let it make its way, but I got to keep an eye on that number because something's not right. Hello, Mela. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be in the A320. We'll do that flight from Tokyo to Seoul. But as we get closer to landing, if you... Hello, Sharon. How are you? If you come in and watch the flight, there may be an opportunity. Possibly. I'm not 100% certain yet. But I may open it up for an additional flight, depending... I think the flight from Tokyo to Seoul is only a couple hours of that. So we'll see how things go. I'm doing okay. Just dealing with the chat. Trying not to lose my mind. Sometimes it's easier said than done. Alright, so we're essentially there. Alright, so now we're just in the cruise phase. Yeah, that's the one that you requested, right, Amela? That's the... Yep. That is tomorrow. Now, and then next Friday, we will do the long-haul flight from... There will not be any further flight after we land. We are doing the long-haul in the 747 going from New York to Frankfurt. So, yeah. Okay, Amin, I just said tomorrow we're in the A320. The 777 that I have is a Captain Sim one, and it is not working very well. Okay, so I am not flying that aircraft until there's an update from the developer. If I knew it worked and everything, and I felt comfortable flying it, I would certainly do it. It would already be on the schedule, but I am steering clear of certain aircraft because they're not working very well. Okay? The flight tomorrow is a flight that was requested by my friend Amila. Okay? So I'm not making any changes to that unless Amila and I talk about it off stream. That if something were to happen, that hey, I gotta switch aircraft or whatever, So that is how the viewer requested flights work. Part of it is I have to know the departure and arrival airports, what planes can be flown in and out, what is reasonable. So there we go. Okay. If and when Captain Sim updates the 300 ER, then I will be happy to fly it again. But they have not been very practical in updating their products for whatever reason. So I do not fly stuff that does not work, or that if I get the sense that the developer is not willing to, discuss issues with the community, or at least say, hey, we understand that there's problems and we're working on it and we hope to have an update out within the next few weeks or whatever. So that's how that goes. Okay? I fly what I know works, and even then sometimes, unfortunately, for whatever reason, what we think what worked yesterday may not work today. That is the tough thing about this simulator, especially on the Xbox side. Just because I flew in the Embraer 110 yesterday does not mean that if I fly it today that it will act like it did yesterday, for whatever reason. Okay, so that is part of the ongoing issue with regards to the sim on the Xbox. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of snow down there. Whew. So that's why I try to test before I fly something. If it's been a while or we're returning to an aircraft that I haven't flown in a while, I come in the day before and I go through everything. I put in the flight plan. I check to make sure all the buttons are working as intended. Just like on the Dreamliner, I've been wanting to fly that. The altimeter knob does not work. The one that's up on the flight deck dashboard, so to speak, does not work. It turns once and then it freezes. Don't know why. Are you asking where I'm from in the United States? I am on the East Coast, and that's all I will say. I do not answer too many personal questions in the chat because I don't know everybody in the chat. I don't know what, there's people out there who seek information to steal identities and stuff, so things like how old am I, stuff like that, I do not answer. Okay, I just will say I'm on the East Coast of the United States. Wow, look at that turbulence. Now this is something else, because normally we have a pretty smooth flight when we're up at 360. This is some pretty strong winds or something. We haven't seen a temperature spike, which if we did, we would know. Interesting. MS. I do not know what you were trying to say there. Before I could ask you, you deleted it or retracted it. Or retracted it. IP. I don't know what you're trying to say, Amin. Okay. $123 knot winds coming from (257 degrees). That's coming from the west, essentially. Wow. There must be one heck of a storm coming from the west. 123 knot winds. That's insane. Wow. Hello, Kasam. Welcome to the stream. I didn't even know that you had left, Madua. Sorry. Welcome back. This is very interesting. Let's see, well, 270 degrees is west. So it's coming from the southwest. I heard in some areas there was, I think Mick was talking about this the other day, that there have been even some tornadoes in some areas where some very weird weather lately. I do not know. I did turn that off. Okay. These high winds are really interesting. Oh, here comes the snow again. It's interesting, there was like it slowed down and then it gusted back up. It's like it's having there's like these little pockets where the wind is not as strong and then it kicks right back up. Very interesting. I wonder if it's as we're flying over the Midwest, essentially on our way south, that there's a weather area that is just hello. I do not know your name, but hello. Welcome to the stream. Seems like we have a lot of international viewers today. Nothing wrong with that. As long as everybody remains respectful in the chat, I have no problem.
American 2141, contact Atlanta Center on 127.85. Good day.
Wow, we're talking to Atlanta already?
Going to 127.85 American 2141. Atlanta Center, American 2141, flight level
I don't
360.
think we were anywhere near Atlanta, but that must be a pretty...
Atlanta Center, continue to Buzik as planned.
Huh. Okay. Well, I think I am going to take a quick break. The plane's still going to fly itself. I'll be back in just a moment. Please behave accordingly in the chat while I am gone. Well, good night to you as well. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you subscribed. We do try to fly daily. Thank you for coming by and saying hello. Hopefully you sleep well. Wow, look at these storms. It has some really heavy clouds. No, I am not a real pilot. I just enjoy Microsoft Flight Simulator. I wish I had gone to, I could have gone to a very good aviation university, or a university that had a really good aviation program, but I passed up on that opportunity, which I regret immensely. But tomorrow, tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK, and I go over this as soon as when we're taxiing to the gate. I will reiterate tomorrow, but tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK time. Adjust your times according to your location around the world. I mean, I think not, but maybe 10-15 minutes ago I said we're flying from Tokyo to Seoul tomorrow. So that answered your question before you even had to ask it. So that's almost coming directly from the west. That is just insane speeds of wind. But we're still going, we're still making it. It's just, it feels like it's taking us longer because we're flying towards the marker, but we're at this weird angle. Crazy. Okay. Well, then there's your answer. So it's at 12:30 your time. So there you go. I cannot remember where everybody is in the world. I just use East Coast time and UK time, and then usually between those two, people can kind of figure out what time applies to them. Alright, so 467 nautical miles to go. we are, let's see, it was 900 something, so we're essentially halfway. I don't know, Amela. I wonder that myself sometimes, trust me. I mean, it's great that we have a lot of international viewers, do not get me wrong, but I do feel like I'm repeating myself constantly. So I don't know. I'm sorry if it's a language thing, and maybe folks are not clear about what I'm saying. I try to slow down and speak clearly, so hopefully you do understand. But I don't know. That might be the $1 million question of the day, Bella. But I can assure you, Amin, I think you've watched me fly a couple times now. You know, generally when I land and we're taxiing to our parking spot, I talk about the next day's stream and what we're going to do, or if we're streaming at all. So now the video on, or the stream on the
American 2141 contacted Landis Center on
26th, that will not start early. I have appointments that morning, so as soon as I get back, and I cannot say with certainty what time I will get home, but as soon as I get back, I will, within probably 10 or 15 minutes, I will go live and we'll fly. So, but I don't know what time that will be exactly. So as soon as I get home from my appointment and I'm glad I'm not the only one, Mick. And again, if I am guessing it's a language barrier, possibly. I don't know. It's hard to say. Ooh, that's some pretty bumpy wind there. All right. Wow, look at that. 127. Wow. Okay, so it's gotten... We're getting strong gusts. Little gusts here and there. Wow, that is insane. Well, we will keep the fasten seatbelt sign on for the remainder of the flight, because no in-cabin surface on this one. We don't want to risk people getting things spilt all over them. This is some really strong wind. Wow. Now, typically, I think with in a traditional flights like this, the pilots would have asked for hello mayonnaise, clearance to change the route, to try to deal with the wind, or they would have just said, well, we're just going to have to ride it out and hopefully gets better, but everybody just needs to stay seated and keep their seat belts fastened, including the crew. Man, look at that. I have not seen this much. This is crazy. Well, I'm glad that you're here to see it, Mick, because I don't think Well, Umbrella would have seen it if Umbrella had popped in, but I don't think I could even try to write or explain in detail what what today has been like, because words cannot do it justice. Did you try land in Paro Airport, by the way? It is the dangerous airport in the world. Okay, so Paro, why does that sound familiar? Paro. I want to say we have been to Paro, but I could be wrong. Paro. Let's have a look-see here. I'm curious to see what is the airport there. I think I have been. I think we did do Paro Airports. Bhutan. Airport code VQPR. Why does that sound familiar? Now, I didn't keep very good records when I started flying, so it sounds familiar, but I mean, I've seen some rather interesting approaches, or airports, and everybody claims that this is the most challenging approach and yada yada yada, and I do it and it doesn't feel very challenging, but for some people maybe it is. I don't know. I feel like I've been there. But maybe I'm wrong.
American 2141, contact Atlanta Center on 135.35. Good day.
135.35 for American
Okay.
2141.
Ooh, what just
Atlanta
happened?
Center, American 2141 flight level trees.
Why are we
0.
overspeeding?
Overspeed.
American 2141 Atlanta Center. Continue as planned.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Did I?
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Oh, I think I accidentally hit the flap button. Oops. Oop. Uh-oh. That was a mistake. Wow. Oops a daisy. Well, at least that one. I'm like, overspeed. How am I overspeeding? Whew. I think what it was, I was trying to zoom in to look at the. So that is essentially coming from the west, 132 knot winds. I'm guessing is what that is representing. Wow. This is just insane with these winds. Every land in Paro Airport is very hard. Well, well, what appears to be hard sometimes is not. But I don't know. I've never been there, and I've never flown in and out of there in real life, so I can't say for certain. Try landing in Port City. It's hard. Well, again, everybody says that this particular airport is hard, whatever. that's all up for, debate, certainly. But anyway, to answer your question, Mela, I do not know. I wish I had an answer because I do not know. All right, let's have a look. So our approach or our arrival part of our this way. So Pricey is our arrival. Still got a bit to go till we get there. Let me see if I can get down to that. Okay, so there's our arrival marker is Pricey. And then from there, we followed that all the way into. Wait a minute. Oh, this is a bit counterintuitive. Pricey, Bosi, Jumba, Floozy, Silky. Alright, so still got a bit of flying to go. But as we get closer, the markers will be much closer together. But then we're going to have to start paying attention to our reductions in altitude, slowing the plane down, and everything. Getting our altimeter reading back to, or well, we'll get an update once we get below flight level 180. So gray puffy clouds. Same weather from the sky. All right. I don't know. I was looking at the analytics the other day, actually, in Mela, trying to gauge, where is the viewership coming from. Part of it is people are recommended my channel, whether they've watched other streamers on Flight Sim or or gaming in general. I think I get recommended, so then they just like, oh, well, this seems pretty cool. And there we go. So I really do not know. Can I download a game called Flight Simulator? We are on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I am on an Xbox. This is the only flight simulator that I'm aware of on the Xbox. I do not have a gaming PC. So there we go. If I had a gaming PC, we would be on the PC version, I can assure you. But I do not have one. I'm not into mobile games other than Solitaire. That's about it. So I do not play any other games on my phone. Solitaire is just good enough for me. But anyway, yeah, I was looking at the analytics last night while Mick was streaming, Amela, just trying to get an idea, some sense of the audience. um, so, yeah, I really do not know. I'm thankful for all the views, and we're getting a lot of views. We're just not getting a lot of interaction, or we're not getting a lot of people returning, per se, to watch for whatever reasons. Maybe they just catch me at a bad time and they don't like how I answered a question, or I don't know. So it's very difficult to say. But I'm looking and it says out of the concurrent viewers, everybody's watching for about 1:10, and then they leave. So that's not a very long period of time, or it's not enough where they're like, oh, you know what, maybe I will subscribe to this channel. So I don't know what else. I mean, we're picking up a few subs here and there regularly, but I don't know if that means they're watching for a bit and then they're leaving, or if they're subscribing and watching the video at a later date. Yeah, there's a lot of questions that I wish I had the answers to regarding that. Alright, so we're still on our way to that marker. From there, it should be a pretty much we'll only have a little bit left in the flight, but we're, of course, we're not going to turn right in. We're going to kind of take this weird path, the arrival path to our approach, and then we'll turn in on runway 36, right? Yeah. So oh, Amela, if you're still here, say yes in the chat really quick for me, please. I have a question about tomorrow's flight. I figured I'd just rather ask you it now so that I know the answer. I don't know if you're getting ready for work or eating or both. Maybe you're multitasking, I don't know. I'll ask you the question, and then if you're here, you can answer, or I'll message you later. For tomorrow's flight, when we're in Tokyo, of course, it's going to be nighttime, I think. If it's nighttime, are you fine with it being a nighttime flight, or do you want it daytime so that we can see? Wait. Yeah, it's going to be, well, what time is it in Tokyo right now? Let's take a look. So it's 9:49, so it would be evening time, and then we would take off, after the sun went down. It would certainly be dark by the time we get to Seoul. So is that acceptable to you, or would you want me to make it daytime so we can see, quote unquote, the sights? I should have asked you that before, but I just thought about it. Well, Mudawa, the question isn't for you, sorry, but my friend Amela, who requested the flight, it's up to Amela, okay? If it was your flight, I would ask you, because I would address you specifically, okay? Budawa. I just do not spam in the chat, okay? It is Amela's flight. I'm doing this for Amela. It's Amela's option. Hello, Gokhan. Salam alaikum to you as well. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. I did my best. And I can assure you, Budawa, if you ask for a flight when I'm ready for more viewer requested flights, if you want as much as I can do reasonably, if there's certain things that you want in the flight, I will do everything I can to make that happen. But that's going to be limited to what I have available to me. Okay? And for Turkey and Istanbul. Oh, hello from America. Welcome. It was just something that popped into my mind. So when in future viewer requested flights, I will ask those particulars so that I try to do
American 2141, contact Atlanta Center on 128.1.
Mehmet. I'm guessing you're saying hello. If you are, hello to you as well. I'm not quite sure
Atlanta Center, American 2141,
what language that is, so
American 2141 Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
a lot of international viewers today. Well, thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. We are on our way to Orlando, Florida, the home of Disney World. Well, I guess you're speaking. I'm not sure what language that is, what dialect. No, there's different dialects of Arabic language. If I remember correctly, so I'm not sure if that's. I'm thinking that's what that is. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but that's what it seems like to me. Let's see. You want to try McDonald's? Well, you're not really missing much, Almond. I can assure you. I mean, it's not. It's tasty, but it's not healthy. Let's put it that way. Okay. It didn't translate. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Mela. Oh, hello, Pulse. I'll just message you on Discord real quick. I asked you a question. I guess you didn't hear me ask. Or, yeah,
American 2141, contact Atlanta Center on 123.905. Good day.
Going to 123.905 American 2141. Atlanta Center American 2141 flight level 360.
American 2141 Atlanta Center, continue as planned.
I think Armella was getting ready for work when they asked the question. Oh, that's okay. I just messaged you, so I was just wondering. Answer when you have a moment. That's fine. Yeah. See you later, Armella. Be safe. Catch you tomorrow. I think you were probably getting ready for work, so it's all good. 111 knot wind, so it's kind of died down a little bit. Still coming roughly from the west, but I think we've gotten past the worst of it. Hopefully. I didn't know you were here, Pulse. Nice to see you here. Welcome. I'll do I know Mick does it for Predator. I'll say, welcome, Bulls. There we go. It doesn't have the same effect, though, as Predator Killer, does it? How many airlines? It's not so much that they're airlines, okay? Part of it is, so let me try to explain this. When the game came out, Asobo did not offer, this is an Asobo A320, okay? This is made by the developers of the game itself, all right? The American Airlines livery did not exist on release. Another company has gone in and created these. Now, they may not be exactly perfect, but they're not too terrible. Right? So, thank you, Amon. I generally check my own stuff after the stream, but thank you for updating me. All right, so it's not so much that the airlines exist. What I try to do is, so if we're flying an American Airlines jet, I look up the call sign for American Airlines, which is American, and then I look up what their flight numbers look like, so that I have an idea to make it appear like we are actually flying. You're always lurking, okay? We're flying an American Airlines flight. Okay, so I am replicating. Yes, this is the Xbox. So I'm basically making it sound like we're doing an American Airlines flight when it doesn't really exist in the game per se. Just the livery does. Adding the things like the call sign and the flight number stuff is what makes it feel a little bit more real. Okay? So the airlines don't necessarily exist. It's that the liveries exist. And it's up to the pilot if they want to have that sense of a bit more realism in the flight, that they add that additional information in. Okay? So, there you go. There are not a lot of jetliners, though. We have the A320, we have the 747, we have the 787, and the 737 MAX, and the so the 2-3 Captain Sim 777s, that's 7 S, yeah. The triple, that's 7 different jetliners that we have currently. Now, on the PC side, there's more variations available, which is, again, that's just how it is. A lot of those developers have been very clear, even though Asobo has said that they try to encourage third-party developers to release their product either at the same time on the PC and the Xbox, or that the Xbox release will be within a reasonable amount of time. But nobody knows if they say, well, we're going to release it on the Xbox. Okay, when? Well, we don't know when. So we don't have a lot of options. That's the problem. So I know it gets boring flying the same stuff. I don't want to fly jetliners 5 days a week. I want to mix it up a bit so that we try some different things, because we get used to, and I was talking about this in the forums yesterday. Well, it has cleared up, Pulse. Compared to back there, yeah, the clouds are a little bit fewer as we've gotten farther to the south, so our altimeter reading is going to change from what it was when we left Cleveland. I've been trying to find, well, it's the workaround that I found, Fish Guns Fitness, is that I have a 4 gigabyte rolling cache. That seems to have solved the crashes as far as the long flights, but I did have the same problem. Yeah, it's just a very, I can understand that though. But the S's are a little bit more readily available, but that's an option, But if you wait it out and just keep looking, and hopefully you find a good price and jump on it right away, and you can get one. The weather in the USA, not in the... Well, it is. This is live weather. So we just flew over all these storms over the Northwest. And generally, sometimes, once you get into a little bit more of the southern states, the weather will change. Kind of like this. There will be fewer and fewer clouds, and, so now all of a sudden it's like we see, but that means our altimeter, once we get back down to flight level 180, is going to change. Well, it's a thing, it's an option in the settings in the simulator for the Xbox Series S that was a recommendation when people were having some issues with their planes. It's just a setting that you enable within the simulator. That's all. But that seems to have solved a lot of my problems. I don't know if that is going to be a forever solution or if it's just a temporary fix, because with every update, things change and you don't know what's changed until you download the update and you go in there and you're like, okay, things have improved. So, yeah. It's just a setting. It's nothing other than that. My Xbox is not modified in any way or anything like that. It's just a setting within the simulator.
Jacksonville Center, American 2141 flight level tree 60.
American 2141 Jacksonville Center, continue to Oscar Tango Kilo as planned.
Now, I will say, is the live weather perfect? No. It changes. This may not be a good representation of what's actually happening as we come into Orlando. So, yeah, the Xbox does have an internal, much larger storage space. The Series S, in order for me, I have to buy one of those expansion cards. So, no worries. But again, that's just what seems to have worked for me. But I don't know if it's really a fix or if it's, they're like, try this, and so far it's worked. But hello, Zuby. I'm doing okay. Welcome to the stream. Happy to see you here. There's a tornado warning by. Okay, we'll be safe, Mudawa. So let's kind of look ahead here just a bit. Let's zoom out so we can kind of see what is coming up if we can. Oh, there essentially is what is left of our flight plan. Now, of course, everything in here is kind of jammed together because everything is going to happen at a fairly quick sort of, distance. There's not going to be much distance between the markers, so we're going to have to keep an eye on our reductions in altitude. We're going to have to start slowing the plane down, prepare for landing, all that good stuff. So we are not quite at our arrival point yet. It's somewhere mixed up in there. So that's kind of what we've got looking forward into our flight plan, or at least on here. So it looks like from here we're going to turn a little bit more towards Orlando, and then we'll start this kind of weird. When I made the flight plan this morning, it's not as, it seems like we're just kind of snaking our way to our approach into Orlando. So what's going to happen is, for those of you who've not watched me do this before, we're gonna come in on our approach, and then I'm going to hit the approach mode right there, and that's going to lock in the ILS localizer, and then basically that is it. I call it the Death Star tractor beam. It's going to basically pull our plane. It's going to slowly descend, and as we get closer, I will disengage the autopilot, and then as we're over the runway, I'll disengage the throttles, touchdown, and then we'll taxi to the gate once we get our parking assignment, and then we'll wrap this up for the day. So our flight time right now, according to the chronometer, is 1 hour 38. Right there. So we still got a bit to go. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close. So for those of you who might be interested, let's say 217. So if we were to drive essentially on the ground, that is 249 statute miles to Orlando if we were driving there from this point right now. Alright, see you, Amin. Hello, Astro. Be safe, Amin. We'll see you tomorrow. Should look to see if. Okay. Oh no, Pulse is a die-hard PlayStation player. I can assure you of that.
Contact Jacksonville Center on 133.7. Good day.
That's his prerogative.
133.7 American 2141. Jacksonville Center American 2141 flight level 360.
American 2141 Jacksonville Center, continue to Oscar Tango, Kilo as planned.
So let's just have a look. Where's my... I haven't... let's see. Okay, so they're saying right now, currently, in Orlando, the altimeter is 30.15. So let's see if that is close to what we are going to get when we get closer to Orlando. That's not far off. If I scroll up, if I reopen the ATC window, which I'll have to do soon anyway. Oops. Okay. Wow. I don't know why that is like that. Oops. Sorry. Well, it seems like the ability to even... Huh. Wow, I cannot even open the window for... Oh, it's already open enough. Okay. Normally that's interesting. It used to be that it was fixed. Alright, I'm just going to have to leave that right where it is so that I can... when we start our reductions in altitude, I'm going to have to request that.
American 2141, contact Jacksonville Center on 125.905. Good day.
Now, last time we tried coming in over along the Atlantic coast into Jacksonville.
Center American 2141 flight level 360.
American 2141 Jacksonville Center, continue to Oscar Tango Kilo as planned.
How did that update there bring that down? It did. Okay. That's the... Okay, there we go. So 3018 was what we had, or 3028. So when we get below, when we change our altimeter back from standard, we're going to dial in 3015 and see if we're within the ballpark of what the ATC is going to tell us our altimeter reading is. I think I can move this up a little more. Now, if I expand this, can I... Okay, now I can adjust it. In fact, we'll just put that right there, so we're not, it's not covering anything.
American 2141, contact Jacksonville Center on 133.7. Good day.
133.7 American 2141. Jacksonville Center American 2141 flight level 360.
American 2141.
All right, let's have a look at that wind again.
Continue to Oscar Tango.
All right, so it has certainly slowed down. It's still coming from the west, essentially. 90-something knot winds. It's not nearly as bad as it was earlier in the flight. So it has seemed to have calmed down. So whatever was happening way back there, it, you know, I guess it was simulating some very strong winds at this altitude, which certainly made the flight pretty bumpy. So we are, I think we are out of the, we're beyond, we're past the silliness, I guess, in a way. All right, so we're going to turn a bit more towards Orlando. All right, so that's our first marker that we have a slight reduction. So we just passed, so that's HADDE is the next marker, and that's very close to the one that we were at, or just passed. So it should update in the system here. There it goes. So we still have a bit more. Let's have a look. That's at 160 nautical mile view. So we have all this basically to go. We're still not at our arrival portion of the flight. So let's see what we get when we get up to this marker here. Still kind of windy, but not nearly as bad as it was earlier. Also, just to let you new viewers know, this is how this works. Once I start, especially the approach, well, Budawa, hey, if your mom died in a tornado, why are you here in my chat? That doesn't seem very, like, I don't know. No. Okay. I'm sorry, but if my mom died in a tornado when I was in watching mixed stream, for instance, I would not be back in. I would say family emergency, got to go by, and leave it at that. So I don't quite know what to say or think at this point. But anyway. If it's true, I am sorry for your loss. There. Hi, Anant. Hope I said that correctly. Do the outside view for 2 minutes.
American 2141, contact Jacksonville Center on 135.3.
Are you timing me, Pulse?
Good day.
Okay, well, Mudawa, please don't joke about stuff like that, okay? Not in my chat, please.
Jacksonville Center, American 2141 flight level
I mean, that's very poor taste.
American 2141 Jacksonville Center, continue to Charlie Tango Yankee
Okay.
as planned.
Joking about somebody dying is not a good thing, okay? So please don't joke about that in my chat. Is there any view in particular you're looking for, Pulse? There's the underbelly of the plane. There's the top of the plane. Right side. We can fly around the plane like this until we get dizzy. Yeah. Oh, okay. No worries. Thank you. Glad to help out. The immortal words of Mr. Addies. What are you like? Speak of the devil. Look at that. I just say the mortal words of Mr. Addies, and look who appears. Mr. Addies, what are you like today? It's nice to see you.
American 2141 contact Jacksonville
It
Center
is
on
beautiful.
127.8.
Fish Guns Fitness. It does have its issues. It's not perfect. Part of it is because they're using
Jacksonville Center, American
photo.
2141
I
flight level 360.
don't know how to pronounce the whole name, but anyway.
American 2141 Jacksonville Center,
The
continue to
not
Charlie
every
Tango Yankee
area
as planned.
is as clear as in some places. Okay, so in some areas the yeah, I know you're here, Joseph. I'm just asking. I just said, you know, in the mortal words of Mr. Addies, what are you like? And then pff, you appeared. Look at that. It's amazing. It's like magic. So that's the drawback. In certain areas around the world, you're not going to have very clear definition of the land as you get closer. You know, obviously here it looks clearly defined, what you would probably see from the air if you were actually flying over this right now. But it's not. But it does look good overall. When it looks good, it is the most amazing thing. And when you fly and it's like it's trouble free and everything works, it is a really awesome feeling. So wow. Mick pulled an Addies. Mr. Addies, you're being honored today in the chat. I've used your immortal words, what are you like? And then Mick's doing your typical wow. So, but it's nice to see you here, Joseph, as always. Let's see if there's been an update to the information. No. Okay. Is not. Okay. You know, that's how we love you, Joseph. We use your little catchphrases. So it's flattery. It's, you know, what's the word? Imitation is the highest form of flattery. There you go. 88 knot wind. So it's starting, things have certainly slowed down. Well, good to hear, Mr. Addies. You know, if Amella's still here, you get some tough love from Amella. That's just how Amella is. Oh, it's getting all tender now in the chat. It's like a Hallmark movie. And yes, Pulse, if Doris asked me to watch a Hallmark movie with her, I would grin and bear it. Because it's important to her. So, but I am not watching it otherwise. Before you even ask. Or comment about the Hallmark movie comment. Or maybe you're busy with the toddler, I don't know. Well, I mean, that's what I said before in the chat when we talked about it. If my significant other, I got some good oh, no. I'll let her pick them if that's what she wants. That's her choice, not mine. But I've always said if a significant other asked me to watch the movies with her, I would do so. Because it's important to her. I recognize that there's times where we have to grin and bear it. It's either that or I lock myself in the bathroom for 2.5 hours. I don't like that option necessarily. I think she's still asleep right now, as a matter of fact. Whoa, what just happened there? Oh, it's turning. See, that's the weird part when we're flying. Okay, so there's our first real major reduction in altitude. So let's see what that marker is in front of us. That's Bane. So we're going to start our reduction now. So let's see, we're at 360. So we can just drop. We'll ask for 260.
Jacksonville Center, American 2141. Request flight level 260.
American 2141, descend and maintain flight level 260.
Descend and maintain flight level 260, American 2141.
All right. So we should start to see the altitude reduce. Come on, plane. There we go. We'll come out of the stratosphere finally. Or maybe she woke up and is listening to the stream before she has to get up and get going for the day. $22 likes. Well, thank you all for that. Appreciate it. And thank you to the new subscribers. Appreciate that as well. So we crossed, I think, the 150 mark now. We've seen a little bit of growth the last few weeks or so. Do appreciate that. As I said early on, we try to fly 7 days a week, as much as my schedule allows. And then we, Saturdays, well, next week, we're going to do a VOR to VOR flight. Then Tuesday we'll be in the A320 going from Malta to Regatta. And then Wednesday we'll do since I already had it the schedule, we'll do Calgary to Winnipeg in the A320 Air Canada. Thursday we are doing, I think Thursday we'll do a VOR to VOR flight in a prop plane, just to continue with our working knowledge of that. Friday is a long-haul flight from New York to Frankfurt. Saturday on the 29th, we are in the Spitfire. We are going to tour the Panama Canal. And then Sunday, to close out the month, essentially the last Sunday of the month, we will be taking a flying tour of San Francisco Bay Area in the Stearman 75. Totally unknown aviation guy. Hello. It's okay. You don't have to apologize for anything or explain. It's you're here. That's all fine and good. People come and go as they please in the chat and the stream, so it's all fine. Life happens.
American 2141, contact Jacksonville Center on 133.325. Good day.
So we still got a little bit more speed, or we're almost at 260. We're getting
Jacksonville
there.
Center, American 2141 is at flight level 280, descending flight level 260.
American 2141, Jacksonville Center, continue to Bain as planned.
All right. So yeah, look, now the speeds of that wind is starting to come down a bit, so hopefully, well, even if we have that crosswind, if everything goes according to plan and I hit the approach mode and the tractor beam locks in, the ILS localizer guides the plane down the glide path, then we'll be all set. And the plane will adjust accordingly if there's any crosswind or whatever. Yeah, I would recommend, because the game does take up a lot of space on your Xbox. So but if you're playing only that, then that should be more than enough space with the updates and whatnot. So all right, I gotta take a quick break real quick, folks. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to get bad sinus drainage sometimes during the morning, and I get all stuffy and makes it harder to talk and breathe and everything. So I had to go deal with that. Oof. All right, just past the 2-hour mark. Streaming wise, we're almost there. We're getting there. So we should be at 2. Yeah, there we are. Perfect. So once we get past Bane, we'll see where we're at. But we're near our arrival portion of the flight, the star, which is the path that they want the plane to take in order to line up for approach. So, and that allows us to reduce our altitudes along the way safely, and then also slow the plane down safely. So we're at a good speed right here, I think. So we're fine. We'll just continue along right like this. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's just, oh, I hate this sinus. I stream Infinite Flight Mobile, so I'm super excited to get into the real deal flights. Well, there's, the good thing about this flight simulator, let me go back inside because it's a little windy and it's hard for hear myself. The level of realism is, in essence, entirely up to you. You can take some things or put some things on or turn them off based on your level of comfort. Okay, that is the important part of the sim. Now, I'll say, kind of like, for those who know, there's a gentleman by the name of Matt who's a developer, works for Dovetail Games, who develops Train Sim World games for the consoles and the PC. Pretty cool guy. And what a lot of people were struggling with is, especially, this is more to do with people who stream the game. And so people will come in, hey Chris, how are you? And say, well, how come you're not doing it this way? Or, things like that. It's up to you to decide your level of comfort and how you fly the simulator. Okay? If you want all the failures and everything on, more power to you. And eventually I may get to the point where I'm more comfortable with having all those sorts of things activated and sorting out the troubles. But the problem then is we're not getting to our destination. Right? So there's the, where's the balance? Do I, so, but it's a good sim. You can, like I said, how in-depth you want to get is entirely up to you. Okay, 15,000 feet. I'm doing okay. I wish you'd been here earlier because you would have had a good laugh. Alright, I need to... Oops. I guess I'm going to have to move that out the way. So, we'll do another 10,000 feet.
Jacksonville Center, American 2141.
That's close
Request
enough.
16,000 feet.
American 2141, descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Keep speed not above 280 knots.
Descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Keep speed not above 280 knots. American 2141.
I think we're okay with the speed.
American
We're at
2141, descend and maintain flight level 190.
190. Okay.
Descend and maintain flight level 190. American 2141.
All right. We'll do that instead. Oh, don't worry about it, Chris. It's all good. Oh yeah, Mella's gone to work, so you missed a Mella. All right, so that marker there is bulks. Our arrival marker is coming up, which is going to be pricey. That should be the next one that pops up on the screen as soon as we get to this marker
American
here.
2141, contact Miami Center on 132.35.
Wow,
Good day.
Miami's like way over there somewhere. They got a pretty far reach.
Going to 132.35. American 2141.
I thought we would have been talking to Tampa
Miami
Center,
American
quite honestly.
2141 is at flight level 240.
Because we're over here by Tampa Bay.
190.
American 2141
That's where we're at right
Miami
now, is
Center.
Tampa Bay.
Continue to be ULKS as planned.
Matter of fact, that should be Tampa Bay International right there. If I remember correctly. I think that is an executive airport there. That is an airport. It looks like one. Yeah, I think that's like a regional or executive sort of airport there. Yeah. Oh, 25 likes. Well, thank you all for that. Appreciate it. So yeah, now the wind is not affecting us quite as badly as it did earlier on. That was a insanely bumpy ride going over the Midwest. Coming south. All right, so we're at 190. Essentially, we're starting to slow down from that. All right, so now we got to get to 10,000 feet. Now that's the interesting part, is we can't drop.
American 2141 descend and maintain
Okay, now it says go
16,000
to.
feet.
Okay, I think
Descend
our
and maintain 16,000 feet. American 2141.
ability to request reductions is possibly over. Let's have a look. Let's open our ATC menu. Nope, it's still available. Okay. Then we'll dial back on the throttle or speed.
American 2141, contact Miami Center on 134.55. Good day.
Going to 134.55. American 2141.
Hello, Mohammed. How
Miami
long do the
Center,
flight's
American
over?
2141
We're
is at
starting
flight
our
level
arrival
180,
phase
descending
into
16,000
Orlando,
feet.
so
American 2141 Miami Center. Continue
We're getting
to
there.
proceed as planned.
So that's our arrival marker there in front of us, pricing. So from here, it's just going to be, we're going to be reducing altitude, start slowing the plane down, setting up for our approach and landing. Go ahead and get our landing lights on. Like a well-lit plane. Not that the flight attendants had any chance to serve anybody, but maybe they can go check on the passengers real quick, since everything seems to be a bit stable. Alright, I'm going to ask for 10,000 feet.
Miami Center, American 2141. Request 10,000 feet.
American 2141 descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Expect 10,000 feet.
Oops.
Descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Expect 10,000 feet. American 2141.
Alright, so that should get us right to our
American
actual 16.
2141 descend and
There we go.
maintain 13,000 feet.
Okay.
Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. American 2141.
So that altimeter reading seems to be about pretty much spot on. I just started this stuff and bought the Boeing yoke, but how do you learn what all the buttons do? Well, I'll be honest with you, David. Give me just a second here. Oh, I thought I made a click the link. I have to do it. Hold on a second. The best place, well, some people are going to tell you the best place that you can go. I'm going to direct you here, because the place that has probably the most information that can tell you or direct you to further information is right here. In the Microsoft forums, flight stream forums, right there. And I'm going to clip that into my, so I know where it is. I don't have to change anything. It's bam right there. So I would start there. That's probably your best bet. Of where to go to find all that information. I'm new to the channel. Well, thank you for coming in, Mohammed. Glad to have you here.
And maintain 10,000 feet.
Oops.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. American 2141.
All right. Let's see. We got to start slowing down. Let's go to 210. For starters. We're going to nose up just to kind of get a little, and we'll nose back over. All right, so no problem, David. Glad to help out. That's probably, I would say that's your best place to start. They usually have a lot more information. A lot of people have the, will try to work with you, or they'll point you to some YouTube videos on how to set all that stuff up. Alright, so we're going to turn to the right just a bit here. 25 likes. Wow, thank you all. Appreciate that. Nice to see those numbers.
American 2141, contact Orlando approach on 124
All
Dental
right.
8. Good day.
Now I think we lose.
124.8 for American
Ooh,
2141.
wow, that's a lot of.
Orlando approach American 2141 is passing 10,700 feet, descending 10,000 feet.
American 2141 Orlando approach altimeter 30.17, continue to Laura as planned.
102 3017. Is that what he said? Start slowing down even more. I think that's what he said was 3017. Yep. All right. Perfect. So we weren't too far off with our numbers. That's interesting. Maybe do I have to ask for 4,000 feet? I guess I do.
Orlando approach American 2141. Request 4,000 feet.
American 2141 descend and maintain 4,000 feet, keep speed not above 210 knots.
All right, here we go.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet, keep speed not above 210 knots, American 2141.
Oh,
American
goodness.
2141
Oops.
descend and maintain 7,000 feet.
Oh, 7,000. Okay.
Descend and maintain 7,000 feet, American 2141.
I think at some point we're not going to be able to request any further reductions, and they'll tell us when to reduce our altitudes. Go ahead and get one more set of flaps down a little bit more. All right, so there's our airport. We're not quite ready. We got one more marker, and then we're going to turn left and then turn left again for our approach. Yeah. Quite surprising, Joseph. Joseph Addies. How are you today? What are you like this afternoon? All right, let's get down to 160. So no, I don't use a yoke. Sorry. No, I'm just using the standard Xbox Series S controller. Well, you know, I don't mind giving you a song once in a while, Joseph. I feel like we're a little bit high, but we may get a... Once we turn towards the airport, then I think we'll get told to go down to like 3,000 feet or something like that. Oh, thanks. Well, I try. It's not easy because sometimes it just took a while to get used to how to move everything around and not cause a disruption in the systems and all that, or start moving the flights, the yoke or in the case of the A320, you got this little side stick here.
American 2141, you are 23 miles south.
There we go.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 36 right approach via tram transition. Cleared to tram.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 36 right approach via tram transition. Cleared to tram. American 2141.
All right. Give approach the crusty salute. For giving us our awesome information here. Everybody got their Mickey Mouse hats ready? I feel bad for pilots that are right-handed. That's a valid point. Yeah, what happens if you're right-handed? I guess either you got to really get very, well, I don't know if it means you're always going to be a co-pilot or what, but yeah. That is a good question. Or I guess, you just get in the simulators and you just keep working at it until you get accustomed to it. So. Alright, once we turn towards the airport, I'll put the landing gear down. We'll drop the speed a little bit more. Preparation for final. Rope. I don't know what you mean, Gomka. Sorry, but that doesn't make much sense to me.
American 2141, descend and maintain 4,000
Alright,
feet.
there we go.
Descend and maintain 4,000 feet. American 2141.
Get that going. So don't forget the landing gear. Last bit of flaps down. Our speed brakes are armed. Got the auto brakes on. Our runway is right.
American 2141, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. American 2141.
Go. Usually this is when everybody comes in. Alright, I'm going to focus on the screen in front of me. I will catch up in the chat as soon as we are on the ground. All that, so I apologize in advance if I'm not paying attention to your chat. Stuff. All right.
American 2141, you are 12 miles south of Orlando. Contact
There's the
Orlando
tower.
on 124 decimal tree when inbound on the approach.
Tower on 124 decimal tree, American 2141. Orlando Tower, American 21411, 1 miles south inbound ILS runway tree 6 right approach.
American 2141 Orlando Tower. Altimeter tree 0 decimal 17 wind calm cleared ILS runway tree 6 right approach.
I love it.
Cleared
No
ILS
call,
runway
no
tree
winds.
6
The
right
winds
approach,
are
American 2141.
calm. I like that. All right, so I've activated the approach mode. Guess what? There is the infamous Death Star tractor beam guiding us in, as I like to call it. Of course, it is not the tractor beam. The system is recognizing the ILS information from the edge of the runways. We picked this one here in front of us, so we will be guided in nice and casually. I will try my best to butter it. This is the first time we've flown in the A320. Last time we flew, there was just a lot of problems with the arrival information. We landed it, but it was a big mess. So, yeah. I can manually land the plane, but I prefer to let the plane kind of guide us in, because then at least we're at the right speed, right altitude, right degree angle for the approach into the runway. So we're going to have a nice, smooth ride.
American 2141 wind calm cleared to land runway tree 6 right.
And of course now we have like almost a tailwind.
American 2141.
Why couldn't we have the tailwind coming down here? We would have gotten here a little bit faster. All right, here we go. Mm-hmm.
$400, $300, $300.
Oh.
$200.
And autopilot off.
100.
Start flare just slightly.
60, 50.
Oh, come
40.
on.
30, 20. Retard.
Oh, not my smoothest landing, but that will do just fine. Try to come to a stop off the runway.
American 2141 exit runway when able.
There we go.
American 2141 contact ground on 126.4.
All right, let's get all of our flaps up.
For American 2141.
On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, including First Officer Amin, who is here today at the beginning of the flight. We'd like to welcome you to Orlando, Florida. Local time is 8 minutes after 9 in the morning. If you're here visiting the Walt Disney World, what's it called? Oop, I gotta... Resorts. Oops. Back to ground services. Oops. Back to clearance.
Orlando ground, American 2141. Request taxi to parking.
I think I hit the wrong.
American 2141 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Bravo
I
6
wanted the
Bravo
gates. I hit the wrong.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Bravo
Oops,
6
that's
Bravo
my
5
bad.
American 2141.
Yeah, I can't change it. Oops, a daisy. That's okay. It seems like it's nice weather here. Let me sleep first. So as I was saying, if you're here visiting, you know what? I don't know. Can I pull up to a? Can I change it? Just go to a gate. Let's try that. General aviation parking is not where this is supposed to go. I hit the wrong ground. We're gonna go to a gate. There should be an empty gate there in front of us. We're just gonna pull in and park it. A representative from Walt Disney World Resorts will meet you at the gate. Enjoy your stay in Orlando. We look forward to flying with you again tomorrow. We are going from Tokyo to Seoul in the A320. So do join us for that. We know, we acknowledge, we appreciate the fact that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures. And we're glad that you picked us today. Yeah, they should, but it's just one of those... because I didn't see I didn't quite pay attention to which frequency it was on, so that's okay. We're just going to pull it in over here somewhere and we'll shut it down. Do appreciate everybody coming in today and hanging out. 26 likes. Thank you, Chris. We'll just go ahead and shut it down here. All right. There we are. 2 hours and 25 minutes total flying time. We got, oh, we didn't even get any credit for nighttime flying. Okay. Well, that is what it is. Anyway, that is going to be it for today, folks. I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in today. Nice to see everybody here. Nice to have some new subscribers, some new faces. Thank you, Joseph. That's going to be it for today. Do join us tomorrow, Tokyo to Seoul, viewer requested flight from Amila. So I will see you all then. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Peace. Live long and prosper.